Hey gamers, what's up? So it's been a while since I did any kind of modification to a console. It's not something I do too often, but in the past I shot some videos and I posted them. If you watched my older stuff, you know about this. And I did some pretty creative ones. What I'd like to start this off with saying is I never do anything aesthetically to a game console if I can refurbish it to its original factory condition. So if I can make an old console look like brand new again, I will. If it's beyond restoration, aesthetically speaking, I will change its appearance. And that's just something I do to breathe new life into a console that otherwise I would only use for spare parts, or I would use to cannibalize to bring another console to life. Now this was a Super Nintendo that I tried to retro bright. It didn't work out. Nothing was going to bring it back to life. It was spotty, it was oxidized, it was really ugly, and I wanted to do something with it that would make it appealing to gamers again. So I start off with a console like this because it needs cleaned and it's super dirty. I rip it apart and I drop it in the sink and I just scrub it. I scrub the crap out of it. I use one of those sponges with a little scratchy pad on top, or rags, whatever I got, and I'll just get in there and I'll get in all the cracks, I'll scrub it, and then I just let it sit overnight and dry. I've always found that this works best, and I have actually put consoles in my dish machine before and washed them. That works out fine too, but you gotta make sure you don't put it on the dry cycle because the extra heat in there will totally warp the plastic and destroy the console. So with this one, I wanted to do something interesting and different. I had this little Triforce keychain that I thought would be really cool if it were mounted onto the system, so I decided to go with a Legend of Zelda theme. And I wanted something that looked antique and cool, something maybe like you would find like a treasure in a Legend of Zelda game. So that's what I did. So with this one, I found a paint that you can find at any hobby store. It's pretty cool stuff. It's a crackle effect, and you spray a base coat on, let it dry, and then when you put the top coat on, it reacts with the base coat and gives a crackle effect. That's pretty cool. When I did one coat and I had a really fine, nice effect, and it was all right, but I wanted it to look more random, vintage, antique, whatever. So I wanted it to look like it had several coats of paint on the surface. I don't know, I always feel like that gives it more of an effect that it's actually old versus just the look of old, if that makes any sense at all. With this one, I did the first coat, I liked it, but then I put the base coat on over it again, and I kept repeating that process until I got a really thick coat. And I even got to the point where I sprayed it down heavily, and then while it was still drying, instead of waiting for it to dry, I sprayed the top coat on it. And it came out like with kind of in spots, a sloppy effect, some imperfections that I thought would make it look really cool, and it gave me the desired effect that I wanted out of the system. I also decided to do kind of a half and half. I left the bottom half of the system gold, I left the switches of course and everything gold, so it kind of sets it off differently. If the whole thing was the same crackle effect, I didn't think it would look as good. And lastly, I took some Gorilla Glue and I used the clear Gorilla Glue. You don't want to use like the normal kind. That stuff does tend to expand when you use it, and sometimes it'll come out from under the edges of whatever you're gluing down, and if it had done that on this console, it would have looked really bad. So I used clear Gorilla Glue, and I put a little bit under the cymbal and I clamped it to the console overnight. So I did 12, maybe 18 hours, I think it was, before I pulled off the clamp and had the finished effect. And then I put it all together, and this was the console I ended up with. In the end, I think it really just made the console look nice again, and it's kind of a cool collector's piece, something you can put up and enjoy rather than just throw out or use for spare parts. I really hate to just do away with a console and, I don't know, take it out of the hands potentially of a gamer who could really enjoy it. So this really made me happy, and I was really pleased to get back into doing an aesthetic mod again that would look really cool and, I don't know, just bring joy to some gamer's life. And that's it for now. So thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Please check out L1 Games on Facebook. There's a page and a group, and you can follow me on Twitter at L1 Games. Also subscribe to me here if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon for updates. I do post on social media quite a bit. I post a lot of stuff that I don't make videos of. It's a good way to keep up with me and catch up with what's going on at the store. You can also check me out on Wednesday mornings. I do a VR live stream for PSVR games, and I just do it for fun while chit-chat, and I always give a shout out if you come in and you say hi. So Wednesday mornings at 8:30 Eastern, and you can check me out there, and it's a lot of fun. So I'll be doing that for the foreseeable future, but I may be doing other than PSVR streams in the near future, so we'll see what happens with that. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all later.